I'd like you
Thank
all
you.
to meet. Are you the council president still, Charlie?
No, that ended
Was
last
that
year.
last
So
year? Okay,
just
all
the
right.
at large.
Yep, he was council president for the Braintree Town Council. He is a counselor at large, and he's also on the Norfolk County Advisory Board, which each community in Norfolk County has a member that participates in a quarterly meeting about what's going on in the county for their community. And Charlie is that representative for the town of Braintree as well. So without further ado, Charlie, I'd like to introduce you to the Quincy Dems. Thank you for participating. Introduce yourself, and then we'll be happy to ask you questions, and then you can have closing remarks. You'll have 20 minutes, and I'm going to stop my stopwatch the minute you start talking.
Thank you, Alicia. Good evening, everyone. All my neighbors in Quincy, the Quincy Democrats. My name is Charles Ryan, and I'm a candidate for Norfolk County Commissioner. Like I said, I'm right next door in Braintree. I could throw a rock into Quincy from my house. If I walked out my front door and I took a right, I would be in Quincy in less than 40 seconds. I'm right on the edge. So, you are our neighboring community. I'll tell you a little bit about myself. I've been a Braintree Town Councilor now for 13 years. I'm the longest serving town councilor in Braintree history. The council has been around 13 years. I was one of the original councilors, and I am the last remaining original councilor. Before that, I was a selectman in Braintree for 4 years. So I helped the town transition from the selectman town meeting form of government to a mayoral town council form of government. I fully supported that because Braintree had really outgrown, being run by a board of selectmen at night, part-time people running the town. We needed a full-time person to run the town. So I supported that. So I voted myself out of a job, and I supported the charter change because I thought it was the right thing to do in Braintree. So before I started off in Braintree as a water and sewer commissioner, and I've lived in Braintree about 23 years. And when I bought my house, I dug up the lawn and I planted a new lawn. And when I put an automatic sprinkler out there, they knocked on my door and said, "You can't have an automatic sprinkler. You need to, we have a water ban." So, and they said, if you don't like it, you can go down and talk to the water and sewer department. So that's what I did. And that's how I got involved with the town of Braintree, because I ran for water and sewer commissioner because I didn't like the policies. And so I was often involved in the town. I love the town of Braintree. I love where we live in Norfolk County. I think we're very lucky to have the ocean so close. I walk on Walston Beach every night now. I'm down there a lot. But let me tell you a little bit more about myself. I've been a candidate for Norfolk County Commission now for like the past 5 months. It was very difficult going through coronavirus and getting 1,000 signatures to get on the ballot, but I managed to get 1,500. I've been on the Norfolk County Advisory Board, as Alicia said, for the past 16 years. So I have a really good understanding of how Norfolk County, the operation of county government. I've been Braintree's representative for 16 years. I helped, I've been an active participant. I've helped when John Gillis was a commissioner. I learned a lot from Mr. Gillis. He was a true gentleman and a very nice person. And I was lucky enough to serve on the county government with him as a member of the advisory board. And now I work with Joe Shea as a member of the advisory board. And Joe Shea, he can rely on me to be someone that helps to move county government forward in the right way. A little bit more about me. I'll tell you about my educational background. I'm a graduate of, my son with Asperger's is going to call me 8 times in a row now, so I'm going to shut that off. I graduated from Massachusetts Maritime Academy. with a degree in marine engineering. And then I decided to go back to school. When I started to work, I went back to school and I got my master's in business administration from UMass Boston. So I'm a product of the state school system, very proud product of the state school system. I've been working at the Mass Water Resources Authority for the last 33 years. We have a lot of facilities in Quincy. We have the Nut Island facility, Squantum Pumping Station, the Fennel Street Pumping Station, the Braintree Weymouth Pumping Station. I have the high-level sewer that you folks might call the dike, and that people had to drive over to get out of Quincy during the flood when the neighborhood flooded down there. So I'm very active in Quincy for my job, and we try to be very good neighbors at the MWRA, and that we want to fit in the neighborhood and be and if we don't hear any complaints, we're very happy. We want to make sure we're good neighbors. So I've been at the MWRA for 33 years. I got my job there as an operator when I got out of Mass Maritime, and I started off being a diesel power plant operator because I took diesel courses when I got my marine engineering degree, and I've been lucky enough to be promoted over the years, and I'm now the director of wastewater operations and maintenance, and I have 200 employees that work for me, and I'm in charge of the maintenance staff and the operations staff for wastewater operations. And I think that's important for this county commissioner position, because county staff, we have a lot of maintenance staff that work maintaining the county buildings. And I think I have great experience with some of the best management practices to make sure people are working and doing the best job they can for county government. A little more bit about me. I've been endorsed by the Norfolk County Central Labor Council, which are all the unions for Norfolk County. I've been endorsed by them for county commissioner. Myself and Mr. Joseph Shea were endorsed by the Norfolk County Central Labor Council. I've been a lifelong Democrat. My father, who was an electrician in Local 103, took me down and told me to register. He said, if you're going to live in this house, you're going to vote. And you're going to be, and I hope you're going to be a Democrat, Charlie, he told me. And we went down and registered as a Democrat. When I was 18, I don't think I've ever missed an election. I vote in every election. I am a proud Democrat. I would categorize myself as I'm a Democrat for working men and women. I think that the working men and women of this country are the backbone of this country. So I support working men and women, and that's the kind of Democrat I am. So some of the issues, I think, in Norfolk County, Norfolk County Commissioners take care of the courthouses is one of the big responsibilities they have. And I think we need to have a very good capital program to make sure the courthouses are in good shape. And I think we need to have a 5-year capital plan. And that needs to be like a living document, the 5-year plan, where it can change from year to year. And if something more important comes up, we can adjust what the capital plan is. But we need to take care of these maintenance issues, structural issues, building envelope issues at the courthouses and the county buildings, and make sure that a small problem, like a leaking window, a leaking roof, a boiler that's not working correctly, doesn't become a big problem by not getting to it in a timely manner. At the MWRA, in my position, I oversee capital improvement projects. I have a project going on now that's a $90 million capital improvements project in Chelsea. We have an approximately $70 million capital improvement projects going on at the Nut Island Headworks facility right in Quincy, where we're replacing the odor control system. And you might remember we had a fire in our Nut Island facility about 4 years ago, and we're trying to make improvements in the odor control system because we want to be good neighbors in there, and we don't want any odors. A lot of people enjoy that park very much. So I have very good experience with not only CEB related maintenance programs, but also the capital side of maintenance programs too. And I'd like to bring that experience to Norfolk County. and make sure that they're doing the right thing with our precious tax dollars, because we all have to contribute. All 28 cities and towns in Norfolk County contribute to the operations of the facilities, and we need to make sure we're maintaining them well. Another thing I think we need to make sure that's an important issue for Norfolk County is they have some very valuable assets other than, the courthouses and the county buildings. The Norfolk County Agricultural High School is a beautiful campus that is a great school, and we've invested in making sure that that has received capital improvements recently over the last few years, and we need to stay on top of that and keep that the great asset it is for the county. The Walston Recreational Facility, President's Golf Course, is beautiful. It's a jewel of Norfolk County, President's Golf Course. And we need to make sure we're putting funding into the course to keep it in good shape. They recently did some of the tennis courts over. The tennis courts, I don't know if you ever take a ride up to President's, they're always being used, the tennis courts. And there's a few more courts that need to be rehabilitated, but also the course itself, we need to keep investing in the course. If you make a decision not to put money into the course, you're making a decision, and we're deferring, we're deferring maintenance that the course needs. So I'm a big proponent of President's Golf Course, and I can say that without hesitation to all you folks that live in Quincy. We need to take good care of the President's Golf Course. One thing I noticed that we need to do up there is we need to fix the parking lot. The parking lot's not in good shape as you come in next to the tennis courts, and the roadway that goes into the golf course is not in good shape either. And that's something we need to take a look at, making those improvements. So I would guarantee if I'm elected, I've been an advocate for President's Golf Course as a member of the advisory board. I would be even more so as a commissioner. I would be an advocate for the President's Golf Course. In finances are a gigantic issue for Norfolk County. We need to make sure that we're spending tax dollars and very, very wisely, because the sustainability of Norfolk of county government in general in Massachusetts is in question. And if we can't afford to keep county government, we have to have a plan in place on what's the next step if county government can't be self-sustaining. So if you want to be self-sustaining, you need to make sure that you're looking at the budget. We're doing the right thing, and we're being trusted to make the decisions for Norfolk County. We're doing the right thing with the taxpayers' money. We're not hiring the wrong person because they're a friend of somebody. We have to hire the right people that can do a good job. And I'm a firm believer in that. You have to put a round peg in a round hole, and you have to do what's in the best interest of the county government. So those are the couple things I think of, some of the important issues facing county government. I really think that if I got elected, I think it would be a good thing for Braintree and for Quincy and for this part of the county. I think, I don't want to sound like hokey, but, we are neighboring communities. We're like, almost like sister communities in a way, Braintree and Quincy. We used to be one town. We used to be the town of Braintree. I don't know if that's going to get me in trouble saying that stuff, but we used to all be Braintree. And I would be an advocate for Quincy. I am in Quincy as just as much as I am in Braintree, if not, besides sleeping in my bed. I'm in Quincy quite a lot. And a big factor for me is I need to do well in Quincy. And there's 2 seats available. And I think Joe Shea, I am a friend of Joe Shea. I'm a supporter of Joe Shea. And I think, I need to do well in Quincy and hopefully get a good vote out of Quincy. So I'm asking for people to give me their second vote and give me their support from Quincy. And I would promise to be a commissioner that would be looking out for the city of Quincy. And I think what's good for Quincy is good for Braintree and is good for Norfolk County. So I'm asking for your vote. I'm asking for your support. And I would really appreciate that. Thank you.
Okay, it looks like we have a question from Colin. Let me find you, Colin, and unmute you. Great.
Great. Thank you. My question is, when speaking about renovations to infrastructure in existing buildings, what role, if any, would green energy and other modernization initiatives play?
That's a great question. I'm a firm believer in utilizing green energy, and there are rebates and funding available from the state and from federal government if we use green infrastructure. I think it's something that its time has come, its time is here, its time has been here. We need to build green infrastructure and protect the environment. Like I said, I work for the MWRA. I am an environmentalist. I protect the environment every day I go to work. On the wastewater side, the MWRA used to discharge raw treated wastewater right into Quincy Bay, and now we discharge it 9.5 miles out to deep sea, where dilution is the solution to pollution. That it gets very well mixed. So I am an environmentalist at heart, and I think we should be doing everything we can for sustainability, for green infrastructure, and to do everything we possibly could. So I would do that, absolutely. And I have done that as a Braintree Town Councilor. I have.
Okay, I think our next question goes to Kathy Tuffy. Kathy, do you have a question?
Yes, thank you. Hi, Charlie. I'm going to ask you the same question that I asked Joe Shea. As you may know, I taught 8th grade at South Middle School for many years, and one thing that many of my students look forward to was applying to both Blue Hills and Norfolk Aggie. Those schools are really important for children that are going into trade and who do best with hands-on learning. And I am concerned that those children will not have those opportunities if they are in a remote learning situation. So maybe you could speak to how that might be addressed at a school like Norfolk Aggie. Perhaps it has some advantage of having outdoor classes. I don't know. I'm not as familiar with it as I am with Blue Hills, but I am concerned that those students are going to be at a disadvantage because of the remote learning, and it's not as conducive to hands-on.
Well, the Blue Hills is not under the purview of the Norfolk County Commissioners. Blue
Right.
Hills is a regional school, but we would not, the commissioners, the Norfolk County Commissioners do not oversee the operation.
But they
The
do.
Norfolk County, they do not.
Norfolk Aggie?
Norfolk County Agricultural High School, they do, absolutely.
Yes.
And I don't know if you've ever been to the Aggie. It's such a beautiful campus. It's a very large campus, and it's beautiful. You know, when you go to the Norfolk Aggie, you're taking a lot of the classes you take at a regular high school, and you're taking agricultural or, you know, veterinarian type classes. They have livestock there. It's so I would hope, I'm not even going to pretend that I have the answer to this question, because this is such a question that I think everybody's worried about for the kids going back to school, especially people that have kids that have to go back to school, and what's going to be their plan. But I think I as a commissioner, I would work with the staff at the Aggie and try to utilize the campus, and wherever safe classes could be held on the campus, where you could socially distance yourself from each other and have certain class size that makes sense. That makes sense to me. But that might be a narrow vision of that, where you still have to take people and pick them up by bus and take them to school by bus. So if they're going to class only part-time for some of the classes and they're not there for the whole day, I don't know how that would be resolved. So I think that there's that's a type of discussion that needs to have, hopefully the people at the agricultural high school right now are working through those types of issues, and they're going to have a game plan in place for September, because September is only a month away now. And I think that there is the possibility of utilizing the campus to have on-site classes, but the devil's in the details on how you get the kids to school, because it's 28 cities and towns that send students to Norfolk County Agricultural High School. It's not like Quincy going to 2 high schools or Braintree going to 1 high school right in town. There's a lot of shipping of students to get there. So it's a very tough question. I don't really have all the answers for that, Kathy.
Thank you. I think it's important for us to consider it, though.
Thank you.
I will say, Charlie, you only have about 30 seconds left. So if you would like to address us in your closing remarks, please go right ahead.
Thank you very much, Alicia. I want to thank all the Quincy Democrats for the chance to come here tonight and talk to you folks and get to so you get to know me a little bit. I've been involved with Norfolk County for 16 years. I have a really good understanding of Norfolk County government. I've been involved with my community Braintree for the past 20 years as a water and sewer commissioner, as a selectman, as a counselor. I think with my education, my county experience, my work experience, I think I'm a very good candidate. I would really appreciate your consideration and your support. My name's Charlie Ryan, and I'd ask for your vote and your consideration for your support. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much for helping and participating. I think a lot of people are getting more and more familiar as to what a Norfolk County Commissioner is and what they do for our 28 communities in Norfolk County. So thank you for your presentation this evening.
Thank you,
Have a
Alicia.
good
'Cause
night.
when I say I'm running for county commissioner, the first question is, what does a county commissioner do?
Exactly.
No one even knows. Thank you very much, folks. Have a good night.
Thank you.